Lust. Lust is one of the biggest problems for men. And if we're being honest, many don't talk about it, but many struggle with it. So let's dive into why lust is such an issue and how we can overcome it together. The first thing I like to say is, I've been there. I've struggled with it. I've been there late at night fighting those urges, the temptation, just the thoughts running through my mind, everything, just the struggle of it, right? And I'm going to be vulnerable to say that I've fallen into temptation so many times with certain situations. And I feel like God has revealed to me the biggest struggles and the biggest problems and the way to overcome this problem and within myself. And so I like to share that with you guys. First off, let's talk about why lust is really such a problem. First things first, lust is everywhere. I mean, from Instagram to TV shows to it's normalized. I mean, when you look around the way things are, lust is very up there as far as views go and as far as money goes and just everything like that. And it's hard to escape it when you look around and it's everywhere that you see and you look back and forth, and it keeps you in this cycle of repeat, right? Keeps you in this cycle of guilt, shame, and it keeps you almost away from wanting to open your Bible and read and really follow the word and follow God, right? Because it leads you astray and it makes you feel weakened in your spirit and your soul. And that's something that battling lust is going to destroy you as a man, because lust starts off as small, and it starts off in the dark, but it can also grow into something bigger that can end of the day be your biggest enemy. So let's talk about how we can dive into defeating that. The biggest problem with lust is that people, they say it's natural, and the only thing is it's really holding you back. And there's a sense that you know deep down inside that it's really not bettering you, but almost worsening you. And there's negative effects that come with it, and there's just not worth the time of the empty void that you're trying to fill in that just doesn't get filled. Let's talk about how lust destroyed one of the strongest men in the Bible, Samson. Samson was physically strong, but spiritually weak when it came to lust. He kept going back to this one woman who eventually became his downfall and betrayed him in the end. So lust can leave you spiritually blind and also lead you astray as well in the end. Another story that we can talk about is Solomon. Solomon had many wives, but his lust for women led him astray from God, ended up him worshiping other gods and leading him astray from the true one and only God, right? And so lust made him lose his basically everything that he had for God, and that led him astray from the true creator, who is God. So lust can lead you away from the true creator over lusting over people that you know is just not right. So that's just another story about how lust has destroyed men in the Bible. At the end of the day, I could go on about people that fell short of lust in the Bible, but to be honest with you, we're no better. And these are just examples of how lust can lead you spiritually away from God. And it doesn't bring you closer to God, but more so brings you away from God. And that's why there's certain things in the Bible that teach you these lessons to help you, guide you to be the person that you really need to be in life. And I feel like we take these things for granted because we look at it as these strict rules, but in reality, it's like your parent telling you, you know, don't touch the stove, and then you touch the stove and then there's a consequence for it. So, I mean, I think it is as God always trying to help you rather than being a strict person, right? More so, he wants the best for you, and he's going to show you the key and the blueprint to living the best life that you can for yourself. But it's up to you to follow it. Now, as I read to you Matthew 5:28, but I say to you, whoever looks at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. So it's clear to say that lust does stem from the heart, and committing these lustful actions really stem from your heart. And so it's important to know where your heart is leading you to, whether it's lust or whether it's God, right? So even lusting over a woman, looking at her lustfully, is already leading you into sin. It's already leading you into these wrongful actions that are going to lead you into this cycle that you're trying to break free from in your life, right? And it's just not guiding you into the right direction. So you're probably wondering, well, I'm ready to start. I'm ready to change my life. I'm ready to stop being lustful, whether that's, that's including with your life in general, right? I'm ready to stop lusting over these women. I'm ready to stop lusting in general, and I'm ready to start living a life full of love rather than lust. How to do that is very important. So one thing you want to do is you want to give your life fully to Christ. So you want to fully follow Christ and fully love Christ. And that doesn't mean backpedal or put one foot in, one foot out. You want to, when you truly love somebody, you go all in, right? So you got to be willing to make that decision, to make that choice. What's more important, Christ or lust? And sometimes you have to really be straight up with yourself in that situation. Another thing is, on social media, unfollow those accounts that you see. Sometimes you can't help what you see on there, but you can help who you follow. And I also want to say, just to resist those urges that you get late at night sometimes, is to pray, meditate on the word, and go out, walk around, and just distract your mind for a little bit, because you want to starve the flesh as much as you can. The more you starve the flesh, the more your spirit can live. And hopefully this video can help somebody out there that's struggling. Personally, if you want to reach out to me, I'll be glad to talk to you about this situation. If you're struggling, truthfully, it'll be between me and you, and obviously the Creator God. And we can talk about this together, and we can help us out, and really just overcome lust in a way where we can live as real men that control our urges, right? So as you can see, lust can be a destroyer and a conqueror, and walking one of the most dangerous sins in the Bible. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy walking in faith with walking in faith with Elisha. Hope you guys enjoyed walking in faith with Elisha, and I'm out. Peace.